how I got over, how I got over, oh my Lord, you know my soul. Look back and wonder how I got over.
You don't know me from butter beans, so there's no way you can care about me or what happened to me. Well, I'm hopeful though. Hopeful when you hear my story, you'll care. At least a little bit. Oh, Lord, I'm nervous. I ain't never talked in front of a lot of folk like this before. And not even in church. I used to go to church. And never talk like this. Not in a Christmas play or the Easter pageant. I could sing like a bird, though. I had a solo or two in the church choir. Never could talk in front of a crowd. Last time I talked in front of a lot of folk like this, I was in court. In front of all them white folk. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe I should start closer to the beginning. My first memory is me picking cotton. Yeah, little video of me. Couldn't have been no more than 5 or 6 out there. Out there in the blazing sun with Mama and them picking cotton for old Farmer Cox. Picking cotton. Shouldn't even been in no fields. Should have been somewhere singing nursery rhymes or playing ring games. I was singing all right. Out there in that blazing sun singing them old field songs. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Lord knows that was some hard work. Whew, he sure knows I hated it. Hated so much, was glad when we graduated to working on the inside. Graduated, yeah. That's the only graduating I've done. When I was about 10 or 12, Mama moved us from the country to town where she started working in white folk kitchens and doing their laundry. Took me with her. Inside working, we was glad for it. I made up my mind by then. I was going to be living better than what we've been living. Now, maybe I wouldn't be royalty, but I sure wasn't going to be nobody's slave. I promised myself that. I wasn't nothing but a kid when I made me that promise. I wasn't going to be no slave. I was going to have me some of them fine clothes I seen white folks in. And I wasn't going to work myself half to death to get them. I held on to that dream. Tight as a tick on the dog's behind. And when I was near about 20, I come up with the idea that we can earn money easier than working in white folk kitchens or their damn fields. It was me and my best friend Lizzie, but it was my idea. See, we decided we was going to open us up a salon. Now, I've been hearing about all these salons and rent parties and all that good stuff. So, Lizzie and I rented out a little shack with the money she had. Now, our plan was to cook some fish and coleslaw, serve a little liquor, play a little honky-tonk. I'd even sang. I told you I could sing like a bird. I fell in love with you the first time I looked into them their eyes, and you had a certain little cute way of flirting with them their eyes. We made us a little money that first weekend, just from folks from the neighborhood, but we noticed that the women's what came wasn't hardly spending no money. They was waiting on the men's to buy them drinks, and them men's wasn't buying all that much for them women's. So the next weekend, we invite no women's at all. Just what we call our gentlemen callers. We chat with our gentlemen callers and serve them some good whiskey and have a grand time. At around midnight, I get up and I sing a song or two. Then I put on some shimmy music. And after I belt down a couple drinks myself, I tear up the floor. After a while, though, hot food, steaming music, good whiskey, and the hoochie coochie wasn't enough for our gentlemen callers. No, they wanted more. And when I found out how much they was willing to pay for that, Lord, I sure was game to sell it. Me and Lizzie both. Shoot, the good Lord had blessed us with what them men wanted and was willing to pay good money for. Now, when we finally figured that out, we was making more money than we ever knew existed. Oh, but I tell you, Negroes ain't for shit. They don't want to do nothing to get ahead, and they tear you down soon as they see you try to. Oh, them sedity hypocrites started complaining to the police that we was running a ho-how. A ho-how. That's exactly what they called our salon. And us giving our company what they wanted. That wasn't nothing. When the word got out that we was entertaining a couple of white gentlemen callers, oh, hell broke loose. There wasn't but one or two of them, and we kept them separate from the other men's. It was like they used a different door. Only time I ever heard a white man glad to use the back door while the niggas used the front. One night we was having a real mellow party. All of a sudden, it sounded like the front door was being torn off the hinges. Now, I was in the back bedroom with one of my special gentlemen. Lizzie was sitting up front, sat and drinking whiskey with a couple what I call no-counts. By the time I made it from out back, Negroes was diving out of windows, running all over the place. Such a commotion you wouldn't believe. Now, I don't know what happened to the gentleman that was with me. And I don't know what happened to the gentleman was with me. But it was like he walked through a wall or something. And good thing he done whatever he done, as he wasn't no Negro. See, race mixing ain't tolerated here in Cuthbert, or any other part of Georgia, as far as I knew. As it was, Randolph County Sheriff took me and Lizzie to jail for the night, charged us with running a lewd house. They threw us in the workhouse for 6 whole months. Well, I bet you ain't never seen nothing like the county workhouse, and I hope to God you don't ever see it. Ain't fit for human beings, just plain nasty. Women stuffed themselves tighter than Lizzie's black dress. Some done got caught breaking the law. Well, like me and Lizzie. Some just poor with no place else to go to. Others crazier than cows in a cornfield. You wouldn't believe it. Well, I guess it's better than what would have happened if they had called me and my special gentleman together. Well, I ain't want to be nobody's strange fruit, is all I can say. Those 6 months kind of killed me of wanting fast and easy money. I was sure enough willing to walk the straight and narrow after that. Willing to work as hard as I had to make it. And I didn't care what I had to do, long as it was legal. Washing, cooking, ironing. Hell, I'd go back to the fields if I had to. So, back to the kitchens I went. I never did get married. Had 3 children though. Quick. Bam, bam, bam. James, Nelsie, and Edna Lee. After the 3rd one and no husband, I could see clear as day I was doomed. My life wasn't going to be worth shit. Not much different from Mama's after Daddy cut out on us. But God gave me a break. Old man Ernest Knight fell and broke his leg real bad. Now, he one of the meanest old cusses you ever want to see. He told a gun and clear view of everybody. Drank more whiskey than all the men in Cuthbert rolled into one. He owned a grist mill on the edge of town, but he ain't make no money. See, when he fell and broke his leg damn near in two, his son, you see, come looking for somebody to nurse him. The work sounded easy. Pay wasn't bad, more than most folks was making. Look, I know after what I've been through, you probably thinking any talk about fast and easy money should have told me something. Well, I can't say it did. So I went on. Cook, clean, and iron. Wash old man Knight's stinking drawers. Now, he and I hit it off pretty good from the first. Like, he didn't need much tending to, except for when I had to carry his old butt to the privy. The privy. Well, don't you know what that is? The outhouse. Well, he couldn't walk by himself. And he ain't like using the chamber pot. None at all. So he'd lean on me like I was his crutch, and I'd walk him outside. Fact was, by the time his leg healed up, we was right close. Hell, he always had liquor. Mr. Knight was willing to share it with me. When he got to moving around on his own pretty good, he even gave me a few extra dollars. Well, if I did him some special favors. Now, it ain't like I want to do nothing special for him at all. It's just the few extra dollars. Well, I got 3 hungry kids. After a while, his old white neighbor started causing all kind of ruckus. He even called the sheriff on Mr. Knight. Maybe they called him on me, I never knew. And we ain't had to be fussing or nothing. If they saw me there past dark, they thought they had to call the sheriff. You know, his son, E.C., old Snake Jr., he come by the house one evening I was there. He said, "Bitch, this has got to stop. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to have no trouble with you. But you stay away from my daddy. And you don't come back to this house never no more. You know what's good for you." I ain't even cringe. I done heard worse than that from better than him. Done worse, too. Wasn't thinking about old E.C. It wasn't his house, it was his daddy's, and his dad ain't never told me stay away. We'd fight. Seems we always made up. I mean, after all, he always had liquor and money and other things I needed. After 2, maybe 3 years, Mr. Knight started drinking more and hitting me harder. I mean, hard enough to leave marks. He knocked me down once, and the stars I saw wasn't in no sky. First, I tried to figure out how to stop him, tried to be nice as I could be, coming whenever he called, fixing his favorite foods, but none of that worked, So then I just wanted to stop seeing him. Now, before you go thinking I wanted to be with Mr. Knight like that, I gotta tell you how it started. Thought never crossed my mind. Only thing I was there to do was cook, clean, and iron. Earn enough money to take care of me and my babies, and everything was good for the first couple weeks. It was that second Monday, after he started back at the mill, that's when everything changed. I remember because I was thinking on my way to his house that if things was going as good as they was that first week, I could work at his house forever. That day was going to be different. Real different, like something was making the air too heavy to breathe. After he finished breakfast, he went to some other part of the house, and he was quiet for so long, I thought he'd gone on to the mill. But the quiet was a creepy type quiet. Next thing I know, he's standing behind me while I'm trying to run clean dishwater. Before I could turn around good, he had his hands around my waist and was pushing me over towards the wall, calling my name over and over. Lena. 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 One of his hands going up my blouse and the other trying to unzip my skirt. I pulled the one under my blouse out and I kind of laughed when I did it. Not because it was funny, just because I didn't know what else to do. Mr. Knight, what you doing? I gotta finish cleaning the house. Fuck the house, Lena. For a second, I thought about the butcher knife in the drawer under the sink. I figured I could go for the knife, get it, push it deep into his belly, but I ain't. Then he spin me up against the wall and with one hand was holding my hands above my head and with the other trying to snatch off my skirt and my drawers. And I just started whimpering because I didn't want what was coming next. Next thing I know, he was ramming me. That old cuss was ramming me like I was a horse. And he was ramming. I hated him. I hated that old wrinkle cuss so much I could have killed him. And he was ramming. Then he yelled my name loud like I was his very salvation. Lena. Next thing I know, we on the floor. He collapsed on my back. I could barely breathe. I could feel his dick go limp inside me and the cum oozing out onto the floor. Finally, he rolled off and stood up. Pains down around his ankles. Lena, clean this mess up. I heard him pull up his pants. Then I heard him limp out the kitchen. I rose my head. My skirt and my torn drawers was in a heap on the floor. My blouse ripped and I'm laying in a puddle of his nasty slime. I've been having sex since I was 12. Maybe with men and boys a little older. But ain't none of them ever just took me like that. I would stick to my stomach. My whole body was aching and I was sick. I grab my torn clothes and I wrap them around me. What did I do? I try to think of what I might have said to him. He raped me. Why the hell was I trying to figure out what I'd done? He raped me. It wasn't my fault, was it? I could feel his cum drying up on my leg. I used a rag to wipe that mess off, that nasty mess. And when I could breathe, I screamed. Loud enough to wake dead folk. After a while, I straightened myself up best I could, and I left for home. When I got home, I went straight to my bed. I didn't tell Mama what happened. How was I supposed to tell her that my girl parts had let me down? I didn't tell nobody. I didn't have nobody to tell. He raped me, didn't he? The next morning, I wanted to stay in bed with the covers over my head. I could have stayed like that the rest of my life, but Mama made me get up. Look, gal, I'm keeping your baby so that you can make a living now. You get your lazy butt up and you get on over there. Mr. Knight be expecting his breakfast soon. So I got up. I walked slow as I could to Mr. Knight house. Cried the whole way. When I got there, the door was unlocked like it always is, and I went in. And he was nowhere around that I could see, so I went straight to the kitchen. It was creepy being back there. What choice did I have? I didn't want to look at the wall or the spot on the floor. He had cleaned up everything, but all I wanted to look at was the table. And it was like he knew I was coming back. He knew I'd see what he left on the table, knew I'd be back in his kitchen. The sun was pouring through the window and beating on a pint bottle of gin, shining against the glass like a star. Under the bottle was a $10 bill with 4 Lena wrote on it. I didn't know what to do with neither one of them. Hell, he raped me. And now he want to make me feel like his hoe. He raped me. Ain't nothing he can give me to undo that. I don't want shit from him. But my babies. $10, 10 whole dollars. How much food can I buy with $10? If I take it, maybe it mean he ain't raped me. And even if he do it, and even if he did and I took it, I'd be telling him it was okay, wouldn't I? Let him keep his steak and whiskey and his money. After that first time, when I took the $10 and the bottle of gin, I couldn't see how I could say much else after that. In the first place, if I wasn't so colored and so dirt poor, he wouldn't have raped me. And in the second place, I might have stood up to him if he had. He raped me. But when I took the stuff, that ain't matter no more. It sure ain't to him. It was like I told him, I'm your piece of colored meat. After a while, it didn't seem to matter much to me neither. You know, he never was nice to me, not like he liked me. Not even when we had relations. After a while, he started getting mean. Mean to the point I want out. But I ain't go nowhere. I stayed. Stayed some years after that. By then, I was just plain scared to death of him. My life was shit. And it was my fault. $10 damn and a bottle of gin. Hell, I was through with him way before everything happened. I was just scared to tell him. Until that night, that Sunday night. See, he had taken to dragging me out to the meal to have our relations. I guess he didn't want nobody to catch us in action. Or I guess everything happened the night before that Saturday night, because all hell broke loose on Sunday. I was at home that night. Mr. Knight come knocking on my door. Yes, Mr. Knight. He said, I come by to see if you're going to the meal tonight. And I just cringe. Say he got some homebrew. Homebrew? I don't take one drink of that rock gut. I say, now you give me some money, I'll go see if I can get me a drink of whiskey. slid 50 cents through the crack in the door. You see, I was gonna get away from him. You see, he was pretty full when he come by my house, and I know how that be. See, I done seen him like that more than one time. So, I walk out past him, went up toward Capitol Dawson Street, to the cafe, the one for colored folk. And I sat out there a while with my foot swinging down, and didn't nobody come, so I got up to go back. And I just knew that by now he'd be gone on home, but he must have been standing somewhere around watching me. Because soon as I got back inside, there he go knocking on the door again. Mr. Knight, you go on home now. He started talking loud. Loud enough to wake up everybody in Cuthbert. You might as well get on out here. I'll wake up everybody in that old shack. You keep messing with me. And what was I gonna do? Wait till every light come on all over town? Hell, I know folks are probably already watching us anyway. So I went out and I walked with him for a spell. But when I got down by the cemetery, I dodged him. Struck a little trot through the cemetery, went back down towards Capitol Dawson Street. Then I went down by Mr. Irwin pasture, because I was so tired. And I guess I must have dropped off to sleep while I was out there. Because I woke up and I found I laid out there all night. It must have been about 5 in the morning. I figured he'd be gone home now, so I got up and I started walking back toward the mill, and there he was sitting right in front of it. Lena! God damn it, Lena, you going in my meal! He threw that pistol on me. Held that pistol to my head and made me go in there. I had no choice, so I went in and I sat down. Mr. Knight, I've been away from my children all night now. You making me come in here when I don't want to be here. He say, yeah, but you safe here. I was so tired. I'm gonna lie down on this bed, but don't you let me sleep too long. When I woke up, it was sunshine and morning. He's still sitting there with that old gun. His voice was real calm and gentle, like, Lena, I want you to stay here in the mill until I get back. I'm looking for my son from Cairo, but you stay here in the mill until I go to the country with him to the singing. You lock the door behind me, nobody know you in here. He said like he thought I wanted to be in there. I said, no, I'd rather be at home. The look he gave me felt like gunshots. He left me in the mill all day. He locked the door. I could see a little piece of sky, so I just watched the clouds float by. Finally, he come back. Now, the sun's brightness wasn't long gone, and it wasn't dark just yet, but my stomach had been growling for hours. And I guess I softened a little when I saw what he brought with him. He had brought some fish and stew meat, a RC drink, and a pint of whiskey. Mr. Knight, I want to get out. To go home and see about my babies. That old devil looked at me like I was crazy. He said, "I'll kill you before I let you out of here." He said that. I swear, something raised up in me, feeling like red hot steel. Well, I guess you gonna have to do it. Before the last word was past my lips, I felt his fist hit my mouth hard. Blood dripped down my blouse, mixed in with the Georgia red dirt stains I got from sleeping in Mr. Irwin pasture. Oh, I could feel the pain of the first lick. His fist was going upside my head again. Damn it, now I was tired. Tired of everything. So I balled up my fist and I punched him in his face. I done told you what I'd do if you quit me or try to leave. I knew this was it. He wasn't gonna let me out of there alive, and I'd die if I had to. We got to tussling all over that room. I finally got the gun away from him. I held that gun to his head and I tried to make myself pull the trigger. But I couldn't do it. He was looking at the floor. And I thought it because he was scared, and it felt good to have him scared of me for a change, scared of Lena Mae Baker. Then I saw what he was eyeing. I followed his eyes to a piece of iron pipe lying in the corner, and I could almost read his mind. He was gonna take that iron pipe and slam it upside my head, and about quick as a rabbit, he reached for it. My life was shit. But I wasn't ready to die. What was I supposed to do? Let him slam that iron pipe upside my head? Watch as my own brain slop out to a bloody mess on his mill floor? What was I supposed to do, huh? Tell me, what else was I supposed to do? Yes, I killed him, but I didn't mean for it to happen. It was either me or him. He had thrown that gun on me one too many times, and I was through being scared. I got hold of that gun, and next thing I know, there was an explosion, and I didn't have time to think. He was lying on the floor of the mill looking like he was sleeping. There wasn't no blood that I could see, but I knew he was dead. I stood there and I looked at him for a while. And then I left. I didn't know what to do or where to go or who to talk to, but guess where I ended up? At old Mr. Cox's house. Same Mr. Cox whose cotton I picked when I was a teeny tyke, except he ain't a farmer no more. See, now he the county coroner. And after I told him what happened, he told me to go to sheriff and tell him, but I ain't. Instead, I went home to my mama's house. And I crawled in bed, kind of like I was in my mama's stomach instead of in her house. I rocked myself and I sang myself a song, pulled the covers over my head. I was still under the covers when Sheriff Taylor come jail me, crying like a baby. My own babies was crying. Sheriff Taylor pushed me out to his car, almost threw me in the back seat. He arrested me, took me to county jail and said the charge was capital murder. And from what I understand, old man Cox and Overby and them other big shots went down to investigate after Sheriff Taylor put me in jail. But they didn't have to do that, and I already told them I'd done it. Mama come visit me once. She looked all over the room, but she wouldn't look me in my face. While she was there, she told me about the jump trial. Lena, you remember? Last name Jump. Over in Folk Valley. Say she split her man's head wide open with an axe. Chopped him into pieces, put them pieces in a croquet sack. Drug him down to the train track, make it look like a train run him over. Lena, they caught her and they tried her. They found her guilty, but they ain't electrocuted her. Now that's saying something now, girl. She was a white woman. Mama act like she ain't hear me. I want to believe Mama, I do. All them white folks look like birds lined on a wire, and I ain't so sure. I ain't so sure anybody could help me. Well, I was the nigga that killed the white man. And still I prayed. I know all the jurors. All men, white crackers. I don't know all them names, but I seen them around town and don't none of them like niggas. Not even that young one, can't be no more than 21. There ain't but white folks in the courtroom, so I'm hoping Mama and Reverend is praying for me wherever they at. No, trial don't last but a few hours. 4 at the most. Judge Worrell come tramping in the courtroom sounding like thunder rolling. He put his 2 guns on the bench and say he want to be home by dinner time. Now, everybody laughs at me. Even my lawyer laughed. And that's when they start things up. Sheriff Taylor and old man Cox and Overby, Mr. Schaefer, Mr. Irwin, Mr. Knight's sons, they all testify except me. Ain't none of them on my side. They tell how they found a bullet hole in his head and how they ain't found no iron pipe. How I was hiding under the covers when Sheriff Taylor come jail me. And they tell some truths and some lies, but I tell them everything. Everything I told you about that night, the truth. But how he came after me. How he locked me in the mill all day. How he put that pistol on me and I wrestled it from him. How he went for that iron pipe and I closed my eyes and I shot him. But nobody hear my story. Then the jury go out. Cause nobody know what go on in the jury room. And I try not to think about it. Instead, I'm thinking on that very day I was gonna walk out that courtroom, go home and get a plate of my mama's neck bones and rice. And how I was gonna hug up on my babies. Before I know it, they back. But barely half an hour. I mean, I'm surprised how little it take them, but don't look like nobody else surprised. After that, the only thing I remember is that ugly word that make a lie out of my life. Each man say it. Guilty. Guilty, 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 12 times. On to Reedsville Penitentiary. And they ain't got no women's section, so I stay with the men's in a cell by myself. Reverend come visit me once. He said there was some kind of appeal going on. And I wait for months and I don't hear nothing else about that. He done told me most of my family done already left Cuthbert. Run my family out of town. Ain't nothing left for me here now. Then they moved me to solitary. See, that's what I know. Some men come and we walk down a hallway and we pass a window. And I can see it's morning and it's a clear, pretty day. And I catch a glimpse of old Buddy Perkins out near his hearse. Buddy is the colored folk undertaker. So when I see him, I figure he must be there for me. Today must be the day. We walk down another hallway until we get to a room with no windows. See, that's when they tell me. Ask me what I want for my last meal, and I say, neck bones and rice. But when it come, I can't eat it. And it's dark. Dark in my head and in my heart. We walk a little more, and I'm praying the whole way because I ain't got nobody but my God now. We make the slow walk up the steps to the chair. I'm still praying because, well, I ain't praying to live now. I'm praying that God just stay with me. Stay with me until I meet him face to face. And then I get quiet. And it ain't till they finish connecting me up to all them belts and wires do I say another word. My last words. What I done in self-defense. Else I would have been killed myself. Where I was, I couldn't overcome it. God has forgiven me. And I got nothing against nobody. I'm ready. I am one in the number, and I am ready. Ready to meet my God.
How I got over, how I got over, oh my Lord, you know my soul. Look back and wonder how